Well, the first thing I want to mention, of course, is I want to do big thank yous, of course, to Landmark Theater. They gave us this opportunity to do tonight, so I want to thank them for that. As well as the Shea Artistes and the Esquire Theater, our sister theaters. They did a great job promoting us and letting all of you know about the films that are going on here, including the 85th anniversary. And after that, I only want to mention is, if you didn't know, we are doing a raffle in about 15 minutes or so. If you haven't signed up yet, just go ahead right on the back of your ticket stub, your full name on there. That way we can draw it out, let you know who won. And at the end of it, we will do all the gifts upstairs at the bar. All right, after that, I'm going to give this to Chris Citron, and I heard talk about the proclamations.
Thank you all for coming. This is such a happy occasion. We want to thank all these wonderful donors of the prizes for our celebration of the 85th anniversary. Buffalo Exchange, the Hornet, Fancy Tiger Crafts, Fancy Tiger Clothing. Here are all the prizes. The Irish Rover Pub, Historians Ale House, King Supers, Mulberry's Cake Shop. Mulberry's Cake Shop has supplied the cupcakes, which you will get at the end of the movie. And the cupcakes are all the Mayan colors, and they are really just gorgeous. So, also Pizzeria Locale, Quality Paws Natural Pet, Sweet Action Ice Cream, Hank Troy for that wonderful CD that we were listening to, that silent movie music that he was playing at Chautauqua. And Vintage Theater we want to thank, because they have donated several sets of tickets to Sunset Boulevard in April, late April, at Vintage Theater, starring Marsha Raguenetti. Stand up and wave. She's going to be Martha Desmond on April 29th or something like that. We're giving away tickets. So we thank all of those donors, and especially Landmark Theaters, and especially the enthusiastic staff of the Mayan. They've been great. Wanted to remind you that upstairs there's a poster that's there all the time, a historical collage about the history of the theater. And I want to say that I always want to hear anecdotes about your connection with this theater. There are some amazing stories, and I'm collecting them. I am working on a book about the history. All these, this story is just, I couldn't make it up. I mean, it's such an amazing melodrama. So, also, every April is Doors Open Denver. Thank you. Doors Open Denver is a citywide celebration of architecture, and we give a tour and talk. That'll be April 23rd, 2016, and so there are tours then. And if we do tours on request for a special group or whatever. So also, I logistically want to tell you that we're going to do the drawing, but we won't give out the prizes until afterwards, and that'll be upstairs in the Mayan Cafe. And I'll be hanging around there and want to hear anecdotes, or if you have questions for me, I'd love to. I'll be hanging around up there after, because we do have a timeline, because there has to be another movie starting after Sunset Boulevard. So we'll give out the actual prizes. When we call them out, will you say your name, and then we'll write it down and give it to you after. So, all I want to say preliminarily is thinking about all the people who made this possible for us to be celebrating this occasion, and why it wasn't demolished 30 years ago. I was wondering if I could say, well, without Pat Schroeder or without Mayor Pena, it wouldn't be here. That's all true, but there's so many other people too. It really was like dominoes. It was such a set of so many individuals playing a role, and each one, if they hadn't done what they did, it wouldn't have converged to us saving the Mayan. So we really think the Mayan has this power over Denver. And the opening marquee sign said, "A theater for all Denver." So I guess I just think it takes a village. And this Mayan Theater is a place of love. In fact, just recently, there have been several engagements that occurred. Dustin can tell you how the fiancé arranged for the marriage proposal on the screen. And then some people have asked about having their wedding here. So it really, and then Frank Gandy, the usher, you saw about him, he was connected here for many, many years. And we want to dedicate tonight to Jack Pickett, who was the projectionist for more than 45 years. He started working here at age 14. He died last year. And we really appreciate his dedication. Now, personally, I remember in 1985 my husband saying, "When are you ever going to be finished with that goddamn theater?" And I guess, Dave, the answer is never. So in 1986, when our daughter Cornelia, who's here, wave Cornelia, she's the one who's not named Maya, and why I got the nickname Mother of the Mayan. So, you know, this really is just a very, very special place. And so I will just say that I discovered, in preparing for tonight, I discovered a quote from 1986. I said, "People wrote about our demise too soon. This is a success. We want to announce that preservation works." So I think tonight, I mean, we can all see how the Mayan has been a powerful catalyst for Miracle Mile and all the wonderful businesses here. And they're here expressly because of the Mayan. And national recognition is Sunset Magazine and New York Times. And, you know, look at that opening night program and all those sweet greetings from the neighboring businesses. You know, the laundry, all these different businesses said, "We want to welcome the Mayan." And just now, tonight, 85 years later, all these businesses are welcoming us and being so generous and giving these prizes to celebrate the Mayan. So we thank all those businesses, and once again, these neighboring businesses are cheering us on. And now I want to invite Paul Cashman, our newest city councilman and longtime publisher of the Washington Park, former publisher of the Washington Park Profile.
Thank you, blessedly former publisher of the Washington Park Profile. How cool is this to be here this evening? While it is just wonderful to be celebrating the 85th anniversary, it's certainly a special occasion, but what strikes me is the wonderful thing, it's just another night in what I guess is some 25,000 such evenings when a few hundred of the community is gathered together to see a great movie at the Mayan Theatre. And I also mentioned to Chris, is it Mayan, is it Mayan, and does it matter? A lot of you have heard these words before, but tonight, as well as any night, I think they bear repeating. And never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And the fact that this marvelous building is still standing at all is powerful evidence at the truth of Margaret Mead's often quoted statement. I'm honored to be here tonight to honor a bit of Denver's past. Mayor Hancock is giving a nod to our city's future. He's out at DIA celebrating the opening of a rather spectacular new Westin hotel. The mayor sends his warmest regards on this occasion. I've been asked to read a proclamation that the mayor has sent over, as well as one from our governor. Whereas the Mayan Theatre was built in 1930 as an architectural fantasy-themed movie palace and is nationally renowned as one of 4 Mayan revival-style theaters in America, a tribute to the artists and craftsmen of Denver. And whereas the Mayan Theatre came close to demolition 31 years ago, but was saved through the dedicated efforts of the Friends of the Mayan group by preserving and restoring the theater at the grassroots level and securing a Denver landmark status for the theater in 1984. And whereas, and you can sing that along with me as this goes on, whereas in 1986 the Mayan Theatre underwent restoration that catalyzed the neighborhood revitalization of the Broadway Miracle Mile, as well as the Baker Historic District, and significant economic impact to the area. And thank you so much. Whereas the Mayan Theatre has received numerous awards, such as Best Movie Theater in Denver, was selected this year as a reason to visit the Mile High City by the New York Times, and has been a popular subject of tours in the annual citywide Doors Open Denver celebration of Denver's architecture. And the Mayan Theatre could not have survived without the determination and commitment of Chris Citron, the Friends of the Mayan, Landmark Theater Corporation, numerous neighborhood friends and local supporters, and the city and county of Denver joins the community in the celebration of the Mayan Theatre and the rich history of quality family entertainment most of the time for the past 85 years. Now, therefore, I, Michael B. Hancock, Mayor of the City and County of Denver, Colorado, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby officially proclaim November 20, 2015 to be known as Mayan Theatre 85th Anniversary Day, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City and County of Denver to be affixed this 20th day of November 2015. More whereases. From the state of Colorado, proclamation, whereas Coloradans are proud of our architectural and cultural heritage, and the Mayan Theatre was the last of the fantasy movie palaces built in Denver, built entirely by local Colorado artists and craftspeople in 1930, and is recognized nationally as one of 4 Mayan revival-style theaters in America. And you guys are outstanding. The remarkable craftsmanship and artistry of the Mayan Theatre was again recognized when it was designated as Denver Landmark number 154 in 1984, and the Mayan Theatre was nearly lost 31 years ago when the dedicated Friends of the Mayan helped save it from demolition and led a grassroots campaign of community activism to bring new life to the Mayan Theatre. And the Landmark Theatre Corporation committed significant funds to revitalizing the Mayan Theatre, and Friends of the Mayan, especially Chris Citron, as well as Landmark Theatre Corporation, are to be commended for their long-term commitment to the Mayan Theatre. And the restoration, there's only 2 more, hang in there. The restoration of the Mayan Theatre, I can hear the disgust in some of the voices. Whereas the restoration of the Mayan Theatre in 1986 has helped lead to major neighborhood revitalization of Denver's Broadway Miracle Mile corridor, and the Mayan Theatre has received numerous awards and was this year selected by the New York Times as a highlight to visit in the Mile High City. And Coloradans look forward to many more years of entertainment at the Mayan Theatre. Therefore, I, John W. Hickenlooper, Governor of the entire, it actually says this, of the entire state of Colorado. That's a heavy load to carry. Do hereby proclaim forever after November 20th, 2015 as Mayan Theatre 85th Anniversary Day, given under my hand and the executive seal of the state of Colorado this 20th day of November 2015. John W. Hickenlooper for governor. With no more whereases, I do have my one remembrance of the theater. Was it must have been in 83 or 84 before the twin theaters were built upstairs, and I remember being up in the balcony on a tour as one of the earlier get-togethers for Friends of the Mayan with Chris and Pat Schroeder. I thought Elizabeth Schlosser might have been in the group and some other people. And as we were getting ready to take our little tour of what was then a theater not nearly as lovely as it is today, the congresswoman at the time, Mrs. Schroeder, happened to peek into one of the, I'm assuming the men's room. The bathroom door was open, and in marker of some sort was scrawled just this vile obscenity, and the congresswoman just kind of looked at it, smiled, and shook her head, and said something about, I think it's time we put this theater back on its feet. So it is, as I said, it truly is wonderful to be part of this celebration. This is a remarkable building, and I hope you enjoy tonight's movie. Thank you.
So I'm going to pick the prizes before introducing our speaker, Howie Moskovitch. All right, so the first one, Kay Taylor, Historians Ale House. Are you, okay, so hi. And next one. Boyarsky? Yeah. His store is a $20 gift certificate for Historians Ale House. And Jack Turner. You won, let's see, the Hornet, $25 for the Hornet. And there are a lot in here. Let's see. David McCready. King Supers, $25 gift certificate. Okay. You all remembered, we're trying to write it down. Tiffany Dunnigan. Yeah. Vintage Theater, Sunset Boulevard, 2 tickets. Yeah, that was Tiffany Dunnigan. Barbara Woods. Here. Irish Rover, a gift certificate. Is she here? Yeah, good. Okay. I'm trying to mix it all up. This is Sweet Action Ice Cream to Cindy Schuster. And it's gift certificates and a t-shirt. Betsy Rudner. And it's Buffalo Exchange, a gift certificate. These are all, we have such cool neighborhood businesses here. Peter Lynch? Somebody? Peter Lynch?
At Comcast.net.
Somebody Lynch? No? Nita? Okay. You won a gift certificate to Quality Paws Natural Pet Store. also, I apologize, I can't quite read it. Jerry? Yeah, hi. Vintage Theater, Sunset Boulevard, 2 tickets. Margaret Roberts, 2 more tickets to Sunset Boulevard Vintage Theater next April. April through July. Ann Canavan, a $20 gift certificate to Historians Ale House just down the street. Victoria Roberts, Historians Ale House, $20 gift certificate. You're welcome. Randy Ellis, tickets to Sunset Boulevard at Vintage Theater. Elisa Phelps, Historians Ale House, $20 gift certificate. And Jim Canavan, it's Fancy Tiger Crafts, and it's a book and a kit. So congratulations, and there is one more. Haggerty, gift certificate, I think it's $25 to Fancy Tiger Clothing. So congratulations. Please thank all these businesses for helping out the Mayan. So now I'm really honored to introduce Howie Moskovitch, who teaches film and television at UCD. And he's the film critic for KUNC. He contributes film pieces to National Public Radio. And he's the co-founder and director of the Denver Silent Film Festival. So I will turn this over to Howie, and then we will see the movie, and then afterwards adjourn to the Mayan Cafe as long as we want. We can't linger in here because there's another movie.
I have nothing to give away, so I'll be really quick. Who's never seen Sunset Boulevard? Lots of people. Lots of people. Well, you're in for a treat. Sunset Boulevard is one of the great film noirs, and most of you probably know what that is, but just in case. Film noir is the one genre in American film that's about male vulnerability. And it's a post-World War II phenomenon. And I think one way to read it is that it's the nightmare of war-induced PTSD. There's always something in film noir that happened back there, and the one thing that was back there was the war. And this was even though we think of the 50s as Eisenhower and stuff, actually the 50s was a pretty rough and disturbed time. There are people who define film noir strictly, and they say that it began in 1944 with Billy Wilder's Double Indemnity and ended in 1950 with Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard. That's a pretty tight definition, but not bad. Noir is marked with an incredible visual style, lots of shadows. Some people say if there are Venetian blinds in it, it must be film noir. It's black and white. This film was shot by John F. Seitz, who was one of the great noir cinematographers and a great black and white cinematographer. He also shot Wilder's Double Indemnity. Noir has a typical pattern, not constant, but typical, in which you see somebody at the beginning of the film who is dying, and the film then goes back in time to show how that person got to be in that state of dying. And Sunset Boulevard, like Billy Wilder, is unusually blunt about that. And it's, I believe, the one film which is narrated entirely by somebody who's dead. Not giving anything away. It happens, you learn that right at the beginning. This is a film narrated by somebody who's dead in a swimming pool. It's picked up a lot of camp in recent years, largely because of the presence of Gloria Swanson. Gloria Swanson was a fabulous actor and one of the really early actual stars. If you get interested in her, read her autobiography. She was very tough and very feisty. She received a tribute at the very first Telluride Film Festival. And that festival made its mark immediately because she got one tribute. Another tribute went to Hitler's filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl, which made Telluride infamous. And the third went to an up-and-coming young director named Coppola. But Swanson made her mark at Telluride. On a panel discussion, somebody asked her what she thought about the presence of Leni Riefenstahl. And absolutely, in the spirit of Norma Desmond, she said, "Why are you asking me about her? Ask me about me." And I don't know if there's anybody here who remembers a guy named Al Miller. But Al Miller used to do a lot of film programs in and around Denver. He was connected to the first Telluride Film Festival. And because Gloria Swanson was, and this was, it was 1974, so it wasn't all that popular, she was a fanatic for organically grown vegetables. And Al Miller cleaned out his parents' organic garden for her and brought her bags and bags of vegetables for her 4 days in Telluride. She never said thanks. She never acknowledged it. But when Al was... This is almost finished. Hello? What? That was Gloria Swanson being pissed off. Anyway, Al was driving her back to the airport in Montrose, and he took a wrong turn. And he said that for the next half hour, Gloria Swanson just unloaded on him. And he's thinking, but I gave you all these vegetables. Anyway, Gloria Swanson by this time really kind of was Norma Desmond. And that's enough. This mic doesn't work and it's time to get off. This is a wonderful film, and enjoy it, and thanks for supporting this theater.